You know when you have like 10 heavy browser tabs open, notifications are just pinging nonstop, and you're toggling between emails and group chats? Your brain is essentially a computer crashing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So you feel completely overwhelmed by the end of the night, yet you've, well, barely made a dent in your actual work. But to cure this digital burnout, you actually don't need another screen time app. You might just need a pair of running shoes.
Welcome to today's deep dive. I'm your host, and I've got our resident expert here to help us figure this out.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, that computer analogy is really spot on because your biological hardware is literally overheating. I mean, we all know by now that multitasking is a biological myth,
Oh,
right?
for sure. We're just frantically switching back and forth.
Exactly. It's context switching. And what the research really zeroes in on is the severe tax that this constant switching places on your prefrontal cortex. That's your brain's hub for focus and complex decision making.
So we're just draining the battery, basically. We really are. When you continuously fracture your attention like that, you're hiking up your error rates, you're tanking your memory, and honestly, spiking your anxiety. The ultimate goal should actually be single tasking to reach a flow state.
Right, that optimal zone where time just disappears because you're entirely absorbed.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's unpack this for a second. If our brains are biologically wired to chase novelty and, constant dopamine hits, aren't we fighting our own nature by trying to force a single tasking flow state?
Well, yeah, we are, which is exactly why it feels so exhausting to maintain.
Yeah.
But because that digital context switching drains the prefrontal cortex so aggressively, we have to find a way to perform a hard reboot.
A hard reboot. I like that.
Yeah, and the crucial realization from the data here is that you cannot cure digital fatigue with more digital input. You have to step away from the screen completely.
Wait, hold on. If my brain is completely exhausted from working all day, the last thing I want to do is physically exhaust my body too. I mean, wouldn't a 20-minute nap or just like staring at the wall be better cognitive rest?
You'd think so, but it's totally counterintuitive. Passively resting or scrolling usually keeps you trapped in that same novelty-chasing loop. The research points to this concept called kinetic mindfulness.
Kinetic mindfulness.
Yeah, so when you do sustained aerobic exercise like running, your brain literally has to redirect blood flow and energy away from that overworked prefrontal cortex.
Oh, wow. The part stressing about all those emails.
Right, it pulls energy away from there and pushes it toward your motor cortex just to keep your legs moving.
So it actually forces an involuntary system reboot.
Precisely. It pulls you entirely into the physical present. Mechanistically, that physical exertion actively flushes out built-up stress cortisol and floods your system with endorphins.
Meaning you get a genuine break for your cognitive centers.
Exactly. It's a total reset.
Which makes sense. But, when your brain is that fried from context switching, your natural instinct is usually to just withdraw and isolate.
Oh, absolutely. You just want hide.
Right. And that leads perfectly into the second major issue the research highlights today. There is a profound loneliness epidemic, particularly on university campuses right now.
It's staggering.
Yeah, like you can be surrounded by thousands of people, but between virtual classes and endless laptop hours, you are completely isolated in your own head.
It really is a massive, quiet epidemic.
Hmm.
But this is actually where the physical reset does double duty.
How so?
Well, the data outlines something called a campus running cycle. Joining a campus run club, or say an intramural sport, fundamentally shatters that isolation.
Because you're doing something together.
Yeah, instead of the awkwardness of forced networking events, you're engaging in shared physical effort.
Running side by side with someone is really the ultimate social cheat code.
I completely agree.
Like you don't have the pressure of making perfect small talk while holding intense eye contact across a table. You're just focusing on a shared physical burden, pushing through the miles together.
Right, and that builds a very organic, low-pressure camaraderie. You're basically transforming exercise from a solitary chore into a shared social ritual.
So it cures the loneliness while simultaneously clearing the brain fog.
Exactly. It hits both problems at once.
Okay, so practically speaking, fixing this attention crisis isn't just about, deleting apps from our phones.
No, it's about protecting that prefrontal cortex.
Right, so that means aggressively single-tasking at your desk, breaking your work into smaller chunks so you don't crash.
And trading 20 minutes of doom scrolling for a quick neighborhood jog.
Just to actually flush the cortisol. And importantly, using community movement to build those low-pressure connections.
Yeah, it really underscores how deeply intertwined our physical and cognitive systems are. Knowledge work requires the body just as much as the brain.
Which leaves us with a really provocative thought to consider as we wrap up. If a simple physical act like running can so powerfully regulate our scattered digital minds, what other overlooked ancient physical movements might hold the secret to unlocking our highest cognitive potential? Something to think about the next time you feel like your brain has 10 too many tabs open.